Nanu Nanu. Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm not working as much as I hope to. That pandemic, the government with changing things and being really awesome in my opinion, but my husband has a medium-sized company. It's an event company, so it's been kind of crazy. Like, it's been super stressful, and yeah, he's like trying to work as he's trying to. Anyways, it's been an adjustment. Yeah. And homeschooling like officially started last week, but like officially for me like this week, because I didn't really I couldn't figure out where things were, and this portal which apparently is not pronounced porthole news to me. So yeah, fortunately I did do a certificate program with Cornell online, so it sort of trained my brain a little bit to, but not enough. Yeah. So school going good. Yeah, grade 1 French. Yeah, we're trying to read and spell, and yeah, it's challenging. Math, great, not my thing though. That's what my husband does. I'm not really numbers, colors, but no, not numbers. So yeah, it's been great weather here in Pemberton too. Got lots of sun, hot weather, lots of great gardening, and so it was kind of nice to have this transition period happen with the really good weather. I was able to get a lot of stuff done, and then I'm looking around and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have so many peonies. I think I have 17 plants, so maybe in a month or two, who knows, peonies can really tease you for a long time until they open up. Like, you think it's gonna happen tomorrow, and then 2 weeks later they're still just like a ball. So yeah, lots of arugula, my favorite lettuce, seeds, tons of seeds, compost. It's been nice. Yeah, bought a giant trampoline, a 14-foot trampoline, and I put it in my driveway. Not the look I was going for, but I can't handle the bed jumping anymore. So, trampoline it is. I don't know, it's been amazing actually. I'm kind of scared of it, but I'm starting to jump a little bit. I didn't buy it for me, I bought it for my son, but of course he wants me to go in there with him, and I'm not much of a jumper, like I do a lot of training. Oh yeah, my online trainings happen, like we do that with Zoom, but even when I train, I don't like jumping jacks. I'd rather do a burpee than a jumping jack. So I'm not much of a jumper, but I'll get over it, It's nice to lie there and look at the clouds and, just do that old game where you're just trying to find animals in the clouds. And kind of reminds me of like when I was a kid, when, kids were bored, and that was just part of life, being bored. A lot of people don't know what to do with that feeling right now. So I'm here to entertain you. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I just stepped down my studio. It's a bit of a mess because some of my galleries started closing down, so I got shipments of paintings back, and I haven't even opened them up yet because I don't know, it's just depressing. But so I'm probably a little rusty because I haven't been exercising the painting noodle that much. I did get some feedback from my last video. Maybe was a lot of information, and some stuff couldn't wrap your head around. maybe I'll try to dial it down a bit and do something more elementary. So maybe we can call this a demo. Yeah, you know, like maybe just do something that I don't really normally do anymore. Maybe something a little bit more traditional. I'm not worried about, you know, if you want to do what I do here, like go ahead, because I don't think that I do this anymore. I sort of verge more on expressionism and abstraction, although like I say this, but you know, what's in my head, I sometimes have, there's a battle of like, we'll see what happens. Anyhow, yeah. So, what? We should do a mix of shapes. We'll do a bouquet in a vase. That's crazy. Never been done before. We will do some different shapes, maybe. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I did put a reference on the wall though. This is a photograph from Kalita, my friend who's a florist. She takes great photographs. We'll leave it up there. So this is me looking at my wall. Although it probably feels like I'm looking at you. Right now I'm looking at you. Right now I'm looking at my wall. You, wall, you, wall. So often I'm looking at the wall, and often, or I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the painting. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at the painting. I often look at my painting in my camera, because like my phone is on this tripod, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at me pointing at me right now, but it's like a mirror, so if I look at my painting in my phone, it makes me see things more objectively. It just forces you to use a different part of your brain. Yeah, sporting the apocalypse look right now. Hard to believe I was blonde not long ago. I haven't dyed my hair dark. It's just what's naturally going on. My hairdresser, God bless her, dropped off some fancy shampoo to get me through this pandemic hair. There's got to be a term for that, like quarantini. Like how many quarantinis have people been having lately? Probably too many. Yeah, I'll think about the hair term. Okay, so I'm gonna get low. I'm running out of power already. Let me see. I think we're okay. So I'll bring it over here again. Please don't judge me. I won't judge you. I'm gonna try to find some palettes. You know, this is kind of cute too. I haven't done something like this in a long time, just a bunch of little vases, but I don't want to get into anything too fussy right now. Whew. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Ah! This has been open for like a week. Oh, it's okay, it's still wet. I'm gonna do something a little bolder as a start. Or am I? You know what? I like the shapes that are happening there. I'm gonna kind of run with phthalo blue. Paintbrushes. Hope everybody's doing okay. Wrapping your head around our new reality. Baking bread much? Bet you are. I made my first sourdough yesterday, which is frightening. I don't know why. There's a jar on my counter that I need to feed right now every 6 to 12 hours. And that's crazy. All right. think that I am in day, or not day, I'm not going by days anymore. I think I'm in week 7 of my quarantine. Where are you in yours? Week 4? Week 5? I started early. Do a little spray. Oops, and got my side hustle. Acting classes. Started with improv. Now my improv has been canceled because, you can't really do improv in social distance. Although, apparently we might be doing improv Zoom, which I'm all up for. Okay, so I'm going to find some negative shapes. So instead of working on my positive, on the foreground, a positive space, I'm going to approach this from the back end and work on my negative space just to find the shapes and composition right off the bat. I don't know if you can see this image. Kalita, thank you again. Got kind of a V shape going on there. So shake it out, loosey-goosey. The eye loves variation, so I'm going to switch up this blue with a little bit of that burnt orange that I was using last time. Because I had to switch paints because Stevenson's closed down, which is a Canadian company that I'd usually been ordering my paints from for the last, 15 years. And now I have to adjust, and I'd like to stay with another Canadian company. So I'm using Chroma, and Chroma has some different colors, or maybe just I ordered colors that I don't know, that Stevenson's had, but never really thought of using before. So here I am, panic buying paint on Amazon because artists don't buy toilet paper, they buy supplies. Just makes us feel better. Don't be afraid to exaggerate some gestures. There's a table there. I'm gonna go over here for now. I don't know if I want to commit to a table. Once again, I don't really like to know what my paintings are gonna look like until they're done. This is like a crazy tulip with its head up. Looks like a swan. Oh, look at you, you long-necked swan. What else do I have to say? Yeah, my sourdough, I don't know. My husband says it's really good and it'd be great with a soup, which is a nice way of saying it's hard as a rock and needs something to soak in it to soften it up. But that's okay because now I've got 2. Thank you, Michelle and Rob, for giving me the starter. I'm not really good at reading instructions. So I think that next time I try to make sourdough bread, I will make sure that Rob is there with me because, he took engineering at McGill and is a little bit better at reading instructions than I am. And I think that with sourdough, because I'm afraid of it, it's like a bomb, that thing grows overnight and then it can blow a lid off a mason jar, which I guess is why you're not supposed to put a lid on it. You're supposed to put like paper towel with an elastic band. See, that's what I wouldn't have known that, and I would have woken up in the middle of the night freaking out because a bomb went off in my kitchen. Okay, and then there's a little fuzzy pom-pom thing, but we're not going to put it on the same level because it's lower. The shape is higher than this shape. So I'll do another shape over here. Once again, I'm trying not to refer to my subject by the name that it is, because it is, I like to pretend that I'm an alien and I've never seen this stuff before in my life, and I'm trying to draw a picture of it to show my alien buddies that I saw these things, and some of them were round and some of them were delicate. And what do we think about what's going on so far? Am I freaking you out? Sometimes I freak people out. Gonna add a little bit more of that burnt orange here. Okay, wheel, this guy's like here, guy's there. There's some all sorts of stuff going on here. And then here, there's like crazy tulip. Looks like he just jumped off a ledge. No, you're too young to die. Just rough stuff here. I'm gonna put in some lines for that table. I don't know if I want to commit to it or not. Where is this vase? Kalita, is it just like floating in the air? What did you use? Oh yeah, okay, it's got a glass stem. Don't know if that's what I want to do, but I'm gonna draw some lines here. Or burnt orange. Yeah, I only had a half calf. I do have, my blood pressure is a little bit on the high side, so my doctor suggested that I just have one coffee a day, but I kind of decided to only have a half. You know, follow the direction that the fabric seems to be without putting too much thought into it. But, you know, just following shapes and lines that are already there without thinking too much about it will create some interesting marks that may or may not be there in the end, but it just is opportunity, what we're looking for here. Looseness and opportunity. Okay, then down here, that is a dangly thing. Oh, look at that. Now I'm sort of dipping into positive and negative space. So, because I just started flirting with positive space, I think I'm gonna get some green. It's all dried out. Green, 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 green. Wo ist the green? Well, you know what, I'll use this one. It's a little bit more saturated than I was hoping for, but I've got lots of stuff in my palette already that'll muddy it up a bit. Okay, got some positive space, dare I call it foliage. That's not what an alien would say. And it's kind of hairy, so I'm going to treat it like it's kind of hairy. Where's more of it? Where does that mark exist somewhere else on this canvas? It really doesn't, not in the reference picture, but those marks kind of look similar, so I might just add some in. And oh, here we go again. Where's my paddle? Remember last time I almost lost my mind looking for my paddle? No. Do I ever think about putting it in the same spot twice? No, because I come in here and I like lose my mind because I get all excited. And I'm always like in the painting. So I'm super present about this, but everything else, not so much. Okay, so hairy lines, hairy lines. That changed directions. Way. Again, I don't know if I'm keeping any of this, but hey, it's kind of fun to do. Okay, I'm going to find some of those warm maybe we'll call it violet. So the one thing I'm sad about losing Stevenson's is that this is so small. This is the size I like, not this. It's an adjustment. But you know what I've learned lately? As human beings, we are a pretty adaptable species. Had you told me that we would be in the apocalypse right now, and gas would be negative, and self-isolation and, you know, everything going on, I would have probably said that I would be in a total state of panic, which I was for about a week, but I got over it. I think we all kind of did, but I feel like we are lucky because I live in a house that's very comfortable, and okay, so I'm not going to look for specific flowers. I'm just going to start pushing this paint around because there's a lot of this color, and I'm just going to sort of put it where I see it. No details. The devil is in the details. Whoa. It's picking up some of that blue, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's going to add some variation. And the eye loves variation. Look, it's creating a really nice violet. And I'm going to exaggerate this area here. And up here. Okay. Looking at you, looking at the painting, looking at you, looking at the painting, looking at the painting. You're probably like, what is she talking about? Trust me, it always comes together. So, it's like a big mass of marks floating in the sky, which is kind of what looks like what's going on here. I'm going to take advantage of this wet paint situation and start pushing some whites around because the whites are going to pick up on the other colors. So that way I know that I'll get some different variations of white. White, where are you? There you are. I'm starting to realize that I might be running into a white situation soon. Looks like I'm gonna have to order some stuff on Amazon again. I got my credit card hacked. That was fun. Somebody in one of the central states, I want to say Virginia. Anyways, they got my credit card somehow, my number, placed a bunch of big orders, like a $400 order on Facebook, like goods, not services. And then something else through Apple. So my bank canceled it, and then but that was a few weeks ago. So, you know, when everybody was trying to get their mortgages figured out, so any chance that I could get through to a bank about my credit card, no. It was an impossible task. So I just let it go. I've got too much blue on my brush, so I just wipe it on the wall. Oh well, it's a blue shirt, who cares? Yeah, so I finally got my new credit card, and now I can order some paint on Amazon. I got my credit card. Okay, I'm getting this white like way more contaminated than I had planned, so I'm gonna go over here and find some of these white shapes that are down there. Tulip, that's a tulip. And it's not exactly where I had made my negative space. Again, I like that idea of superimposing. Like I was going to do it down here, we're going to do it up here now. And just make for interesting paint. I'm a little worried about my white situation. Is this white? No, that's gesso. Oh, wait. Is this white? No, that's acrylic medium. Okay, well, hopefully I'll have enough to do this, and maybe I'll be able to... All right. There seems to be a cluster of them here, so I'm just going to go for the mass shape. Here. There's too much blue there. I'm just gonna wait to put the whites in there. See, there's a little bit of a push-pull going on now. I like the table idea. It's got this big swooping marks, which are nice. Yeah, it's good to have areas in your art that serves as sort of a place where you can rest your eyes. There's nothing wrong with having these big areas of what's going on. I don't really know, but it's relaxing. And might have to get the old blow dryer out soon. It needs to be anchored, but it's probably too premature to do that. I'm just gonna keep going with what's going on here. I'm gonna do a little blow dry. So sorry for the noise, it shouldn't take that long. I'm not going to be able to do a very long demo because I have a Zoom at 4 with my acting coach. I never thought I would do this acting thing. It was something to do. I got the email. It's called the Monologue Project. So he sends me a bunch of scripts. They're sort of like part of a middle part of a story. And I have to choose what script I want, get to know my character, come up with a set, costume, all that stuff. And there are two totally different ones. One is like this woman going through a divorce who's lost her mind. She starts off by saying, "I ate them. That's right, Charles, I ate the divorce papers with ketchup, and it was good. So good." And then the other one is more of a hillbilly, and he starts by saying, "Put the chicken down, Wilbur. How is it gonna look in the report if I have to shoot you? I don't want to spend all day negotiating with the man pointing the chicken at me." See what I mean? Totally different. But fun nonetheless. So anyways, I have Zoom with my acting coach because apparently it's all about Zoom right now. Even my kid Zooms at 10 a.m. every morning with his little classmates, which kind of is a double book Zoom because I Zoom at 10 a.m. with my workout. Look, it looks nice, especially that bottom area. Eh? So if I had to do this painting in 2 parts, this is the problem with these little jars. It's just wrong. You see, it's a waste of time. All right. Does everything look a little crooked right now? Or is it just that? And I like to listen to Dr. Bonnie Henry, our provincial health officer. She's at 3 p.m. every day. She's awesome. I love Dr. Bonnie Henry. Just to see where everything is. Starting to feel good. What do we think of that? Did you even see that? Probably not, eh? I'll bring this closer. Hopefully this tripod won't fall over. I know this is not very professional, this setup with my phone and whatever. It's a pandemic. Who cares? You do what you can. I was really hoping to get a lot more painting done, but hopefully I'll gain some momentum here. You know, be more consistent instead of like, what, last time was last Tuesday and it's Wednesday, so it was 8 days ago. Yeah, that kind of sucks. And apparently I've been doing it wrong too. Not wrong, there's no right or wrong right now, we're just surviving. But I've had all of my videos sort of vertical and it should be horizontal because it's easier to see on certain... What do I know? I'm just a one-woman show. This is more of a dirty green than I have right now. So while I have this nice saturated green on my brush, I'm gonna push it around more in places that I know need it. And where else? Okay, now I get some dirty green or not dirty, but not as saturated. Yeah, you know, really love this burnt orange. This is, once again, Benzie burnt orange. Light fastness rating, excellent. Anybody know what that means? Not me. I'm gonna get some actual violets going. I accidentally made some by pushing paint around, and that was a happy accident. But this time, I think I'm going to do it more deliberately. Wait, yeah, that's it, okay. Because over here, this could probably use a nice... Okay, so... Stepped on the extension cord. While I have this violet, I know that there's one of these more warmer violet shapes that should be cooler. So I'm gonna go in and find that right away. And I still need some of that little jar. Damn you, little jar. I should actually make sure this is actually recording. Oh yeah, we're good. Okay. Okay, getting fussy. Come over here. Oh, look at me right there. Okay. I forgot that the tripod was that close. Interesting movement. It's got good bones. I think what I'm gonna do though is, do I just add more shapes over there? Maybe I'll do that. Because I like that posture of the tulip hanging down. In reality, it only has two. In my world, there might be three. Oh, I'm gonna have to order more brushes too. Oh look, there's a bunch over here. Yeah, why not, eh? It's not a real party until you have 3 tulips. Just because you're doing a small line doesn't mean that you need a little brush. You realize that this brush makes a big thick line this way, but a thin line this way. Yeah. Alright. I've got some squeaky shoes. My baby feet. Not baby feet, what do we call it? Winter feet. Winter feet that are just used to wearing socks all the time. And my son and I jumping on the trampoline and we got all these like blisters and stuff, burns, trampoline burn marks. What's your biggest pandemic problem? Mine was like bagels. That was hard. That was way, way more complicated than I had ever expected. Yeah, I can maybe find more interest in these tulip shapes. Like some shading. I actually had my husband and my son swimming in our little pool. We have a swim spa. I don't know if you've ever heard that before. It's like a hot tub, but bigger and meant for swimming in one place. The jets are really strong. Too strong for me. It just makes me fly to the end of the pool. I hit the edge and bathing suit comes off and it's a disaster. I'm more of a floater. Big fan of floating. We're gonna make a shape, make it interesting. There is nothing interesting about this. There, that's a bit better. Even this, yawn. And we'll move along. No, you know what, while I'm here, this actually, the blue has kind of dried a bit now, so I think I can introduce another shape. when I first started painting flowers, I really hated painting closed tulips because I found that they always looked like eggs. Solid shapes are tricky to do because it really becomes about your values. Not sure what's in there, but something's in there. And move along over here. This guy here, boring. So I think that kids won't go to school, at least here in BC or Canada, until September. Which is fine by me because we're just starting to get in the hang of it, and I just don't see the point in creating another change for a month of school. Like, I finally understand where to find everything. Not that I'm a good teacher. I'm a bit of a pushover, to be honest with you. But my expectations are also really low, so that helps. We're all doing what we can. It's definitely not easy. You have a house and a yard. It can't be that bad. I really feel for you guys just living in a condo, especially like in out east where it's still snowing. Like, that's just mean. But it'll be 30 degrees in no time. It's really nice here. Got a lot of sun the last few days. But hopefully we're gonna get some rain soon because it's just too dry. I've been watering my garden like every day, and it makes me nervous, all this dry weather. For forest fires and stuff. I don't like this purple. What's going on here? A little bit here just to lighten stuff up. I don't know what these are. Kalita, you'll have to tell me what these are. They look like magnolias almost. I'm really looking forward to my peonies. And I'm looking forward to being brave with them. What happens is that, like, sometimes they'll take some time off in the spring because I'm gardening and stuff, and then by the time I start up again, I'm a little stiff, and then I feel pressure to paint for galleries that want stuff. It's never good. Never good to do that. Only paint for yourself. Don't paint for a show. Don't paint for galleries. Because then you're trying to anticipate what they want instead of exploring your own growth and ideas. So hopefully this year will be different, where I can let go of expectation and just do some crazy stuff, like I'll show you what I really enjoyed doing last year. I wonder where I can do it here. The areas that are getting a little hoity. Not big enough. Too big. Oh. Yeah. Are you scared? Yeah. So this is what if I can do anything for you, to embark on a state of fearlessness, because so I know it's counterintuitive because you think that you're like building and building, and the last thing in the world that you want to do is deconstruct. But what happens that's really interesting in this in the state of deconstruction is that you get more interesting paint. And I really, really, really do believe that a good painting will be interesting to look at. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like the photograph. What's going to make it unique is these imperfections. And yeah, I had another thought too. See, gone with the wind. Sometimes it's just fluff and bubbles in here. So now I would go in and try to find areas that are more, that I want to build up again now that's deconstructed. But I already find it's more interesting to look at. The problem is that it's still just floating in the air. So I'm going to imagine here, I'm going to make some marks. It feels like it could be, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. So in the photograph, the vase is actually more over here. But when I look at the painting here, I feel like the weight could be here. Yeah, whatever. My new favorite color. Just gonna make some marks to see what it would look like to have some volume there. I'm liking it, and I'm seeing something kind of rounder. But I'm gonna get some black out. Always good to have black out. People say that you shouldn't paint with black. It's all the more reason to paint with black. So we're not talking about like a blackout. That comes from too many quarantinis. Okay. I'm not gonna get fussy. I just sort of want to have an idea of where this could be if it does go anywhere. And you know what? I kind of like it. So what I might do, grab the old bag, dip in the black. The old bag gets a blackout. And start finding that volume. Nothing specific, just a volume. Pushing it around. It's nice. I mean, like, because I can see further along, but what my main concern is lightest lights, darkest darks, variation of color, shades, composition. This is too hoity too. See, this is too perfect. But I'm gonna go with the gesture that I see there, and then I'll be able to rebuild that after. Is that too hoity now? No hoity. Yeah, so I got more blurred edges. The other thing too to think about is and this is the difference between the expectation of a camera and the expectation of the human eye. So if you were to stare at my hand, everything around my hand with your peripheral vision would be blurry. Well, I mean, that's blurry on, you know what I mean. Like, there would be, if you're just staring at my hand, everything around that, like my head, should have softer lines or blurry with your peripheral vision. So the way I like to think about it is that if you don't really understand the idea of a focal point, well, the focal point's kind of a loaded question anyways, because a focal point should be like your end destination, and there should be, you know, it's a journey that you're going on. It's a visual journey. That's sort of your end point, but it's also probably the area where you will have the sharpest lines, your lightest lights next to your darkest darks, and probably your most saturation, and everything else can become ambiguous. So when you're building something and it starts getting all hoity, because apparently that's the word of the day, hoity, then everything starts to get these defined lines, and then you don't really know what your next step is. So you start blurring those lines out, and then you can find the areas that you think might be your final destination in your painting, which to me, instinctually, would probably be this area here. And then there would be secondary areas, like here, and somewhere over here. But you don't want those areas to conflict with each other. One of them has to be the star of the show. I don't even know what time it is. I wish I had an Alexa in here and I could just ask her, Alexa, what time it is? What time is it? What time it is? Yeah, so maybe gonna go find some of these lines right now. You see, this added a new element that forces me to abandon my subject because I'm using my own creativity. I'm making this unique to myself. I think I'd like to see some, I like what's happening in there already, but I think I'm gonna find some of those lines. So like, if I was this thing over there, bing, this one here. Just see what sticks. Oh, one of my favorite colors in the world is green gold. I'm not sure what that is. Green gold. It's lovely. That's my squeaky shoe. actually thinking about ordering some Birkenstocks. It doesn't mean that I'm giving up on life. I just think it's a nice shoe. In its own hippy dippy kind of way. See what's going on there? Yeah. This guy doesn't really make sense. It kind of defies logic. So we just might leave that blurry just because it doesn't even we don't really get it. And I'm going to bring in some, because now I see these focal areas building up. So logically I know that we can get some sharper lines with some more saturation. And actually just lighten it up. Not 100% paddle. There you are. I'm jealous of surgeons. Just ask for something and it appears for them. That would be an amazing gift. So, without getting too fussy, I know that now this area here, where does it look like there's light? I prefer more of a blue. Let's take in some water. Does that feel? Maybe some mine too. Kind of go with whatever's already there. Yeah. Is that wet? Probably wondering why you spend all your money on paintbrushes when you could just use a bag. Okay, can always go back and capture those lines after. Okay, what's going on over there? I need to get a better bra. All right. Oh, this white slim pickings now. I'm gonna have to make some more final decisions. Okay, something needs to be done over there, but I'm gonna address this first, and then that'll probably affect my decision over there. So this one, I don't know, I might just leave that shape the way it is because it's more peripheral, so it should be more ambiguous. But I can probably clean up some of this a little bit. my magnolia is in bloom. It's not a very big one, but it was super small when I bought it. It's more of a bush. Okay. I feel like this area here is all just a little bit too dark, so I don't know if I'm feeling the love on that shade. But if I add some, if I push some paint around it maybe, then I get some green. Okay. What is that? Need some help. That's what that is. So I might just stop here for a bit. How many times do I say that and I don't do it? Too many. Yeah, you know, see, now I'm looking for lines, so I'm just going to abandon the paintbrush and find some line. So, what kind of color? Maybe something more neutral. I don't know why it scares me when they snap, because they snap all the time. Guess I'm just in the zone. Yeah, can you imagine how many little bits of pastel you can find on my floor? quite a few. Need something crazy. When I said crazy, you were probably expecting more. I think I'm gonna have to order some more pastel. Oh, that's a nice moldy coffee cup. Gross. Sort of don't really know what all the purple stuff is, but let's just give it some marks. I got some green. Ah! See? Jeez. Seriously. Should make them stronger. How do we feel so far? I feel like we're getting there. This guy's missing some personality. Or private parts. Yeah. No, that's just wrong. Glass, reflects everything. This is fun because it's so unexpected. It'd be nice if I could find that green. Oh, that'll do. I'm gonna go back to this orange. You know what? I'm going to take this orange and I'm going to cut and exaggerate this initial, which is probably one of the first comments that I made about that, was that V shape. So because that's what I felt right away when I saw it, I think that that's kind of what I want to bring back a little more. Almost like a contour drawing of that initial impression that I got. And that might add some more interest. Hey? Yeah, I'm feeling that. Okay. Nope. See if I can get a tripod. Are you gonna fall over or are you alright? Kind of crooked. Yeah. It's probably like 90% there. What might be just missing is, because I did like how the painting reacted to those orange marks. I'm probably missing Dr. Bonnie Henry right now. I don't want to go crazy with these, but okay. On va arrêter. That's what we're gonna finish in French. Yeah, okay, so I got to go. I've got to rehearse my scripts, and I'll try to take a picture of this so you get a better view of it.